beautiful afternoon. Today is Sunday, the 19th day of October 2025. This is the news hour on TV Sapiencia. My name is Somto Okafo. You're welcome. President Bola Tinubu has returned to Abuja after participating in the Akwaba Process Heads of State and Government level meeting held in Rome, Italy. There, world leaders gathered to strengthen cooperation against terrorism and violent extremism. Tinubu had departed Nigeria on October 12 for the meeting scheduled to start on the 14th. According to a State House press release issued on Saturday by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the President's trip to Rome reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to regional and global security partnerships, as the meeting focused on strengthening regional and international collaboration in the fight against terrorism and violent extremism, with particular attention to West Africa. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced plans to conduct a mock accreditation exercise in Anambra State to test the upgraded bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, ahead of the November governorship election. According to a statement issued on Saturday by Victoria Eta Messi, Director of Voter Education and Publicity, the exercise will take place on Saturday, October 25, at selected polling units across the state's 3 senatorial districts. INEC explained that the mock exercise aims to evaluate the BVAS response time and the efficiency of result uploads on the INEC results viewing portal. The polling units chosen for the exercise are situated in Awka South, Idemili North, Oyi, Anambra East, Agwata, and Orumba North local government areas. INEC has called on voters in these areas to actively participate, highlighting that their involvement is crucial for fine-tuning the Commission's operational and technological systems ahead of the election. In addition, the Commission announced that the distribution of permanent voter cards, PVCs, for newly registered voters in Anambra State will begin on Wednesday, October 22, and run through Sunday, October 26. Voters who registered during the recent continuous voter registration exercise are instructed to collect their PVCs from the specific registration locations where they initially enrolled. The Commission reiterated its dedication to transparency, operational efficiency, and maintaining stakeholders' confidence as preparations for the 2025 Anambra governorship election advance. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in collaboration with the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, and the Nigerian Correctional Service, NCS, has deported the remaining 51 foreign nationals convicted and sentenced for various offenses, including cyber terrorism, internet fraud, and related financial crimes in Lagos State. This last of deportation brought the repatriation of the 192 foreigners involved in the crimes to a successful close. The exercise followed the arrest and successful prosecution of 759 suspects during a major sting operation conducted by the EFCC on December 10, 2024 at Oyi Jolaimi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. The exercise, which began on Friday, August 15, 2025, followed the conviction of the offenders by Federal High Court in Lagos for offenses bordering on cybercrime, money laundering, and Ponzi scheme operations. The first batch of the 42 convicts, comprising Chinese and Filipino nationals, were deported on August 15, 2025. Subsequent batches followed throughout August and September. The final batch of 51 convicts, including 50 Chinese nationals and 1 Tunisian, departed Nigeria on October 16, 2025. Bringing the total number of repatriated foreigners to 192. A statement by the EFCC on Saturday disclosed. The deported convicts include nationals of China, the Philippines, Tunisia, Malaysia, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Timor-Leste. The Defense Headquarters DHQ has described as misleading a report by an online publication insinuating that the cancellation of activities marking Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary was linked to an alleged attempted military coup. The report claimed that 16 military officers, ranging from the rank of captain to brigadier general, were arrested by the Defense Intelligence Agency over alleged involvement in covert meetings to plan a coup against the government. In a statement signed by the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuko Gasso, on Saturday in Abuja, the Armed Forces of Nigeria categorically stated that the claims made by the publication were entirely false, malicious, and intended to cause unnecessary tension and distrust among the populace. The statement clarified that the decision to cancel the 65th independence anniversary was made to allow President Bola Tinubu to attend a strategic bilateral meeting outside the country and to enable members of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, AFN, to sustain momentum in the ongoing fight against terrorism, insurgency, and banditry. The DHQ further reassured Nigerians that the ongoing investigation involving the 16 officers is a routine internal process aimed at ensuring discipline and professionalism within the military ranks. He added that an investigative panel has been duly constituted and that its findings will be made public upon conclusion. The DHQ also urged members of the public to disregard the falsehood being circulated by purveyors of misinformation and enemies of the state. At least 12 people were killed and 22 others injured in two separate road accidents that occurred in Yobe and Ebonyi State, respectively, on Friday and Saturday. In Yobe State, 6 people lost their lives in a crash along the Posikom to Fika Road near Maidowa Junction, according to the State Police Command. The police public relations officer, Dungus Abdukarim, confirmed the incident in a statement on Saturday. He said the accident occurred around 3 p.m. on Friday when the driver of a Sharon bus, identified as Adamu Hassan, lost control of the vehicle while heading to Bajoga in Funakaye local government area of Gombe State. 8 other passengers sustained varying degrees of injuries in the crash. Abdukarim added that efforts were ongoing to identify the deceased and notify their families. In a separate incident in Ebonyi State, 6 people were also confirmed dead in an accident in the Nkalago community, located in the Ishe local government area. The accident reportedly occurred near the Nkalago flyover along the Nkalago to Enugu Expressway when a commercial bus collided with a tipper truck. It was gathered that 14 other people were injured in the accident. The sector commander of the Federal Safety Corps in Ebonyi State, Anthony Obodo, confirmed the incident. He said a report from the FRSC unit in Nkalago attributed the accident to dangerous overtaking. Obodo stated that the victims were rescued in collaboration with Red Cross officials, adding that those with critical injuries were taken to Annunciation Hospital and the National Orthopedic Hospital in Enugu State, while others received treatment at Ezambo General Hospital in Ebonyi State. The Imo State Police Command has arrested 3 officers allegedly linked to the V-Kings confraternity following the circulation of a viral video showing them in cult insignia. The video, shared by anti-cultism advocacy platform Niger Confra, drew widespread criticisms in the media. According to the police, the officers, Inspector Obinna Peter, Corporal Amechi Augustine, and Corporal Ejikeme Victor, are currently detained and are set to face an orderly room trial at the headquarters on Monday, tomorrow. Spokesperson for the command, Henry Okoye, in a statement on Saturday, said the arrest followed a thorough investigation ordered by the Commissioner of Police, Aboki Danjuma, into what he described as an unacceptable display of unprofessionalism. The Imo State government had earlier said it is awaiting the conclusion of the police investigation before taking further action. The Kaduna State Police Command has confirmed the killing of 2 officers during an attack on the Zonkwa Divisional Police Headquarters in Zango Kataf local government area of the state. The gunmen reportedly invaded the police division at about 9 p.m. on Friday by breaching unfenced perimeters and opened fire on officers on duty in an attempt to free some gang members said to have been arrested and detained at the station. According to the spokesman of the Kaduna State Police Command, DSP Mansir Hassan, 2 police officers on duty, DSP Monday Madaki and Inspector Bean Magaji, sustained gunshot wounds and were rushed to the hospital, where doctors later confirmed their deaths. He added that the gunmen fled immediately after the attack, before a detachment of additional policemen and military personnel mobilized by the DPO of Zonkwa Division arrived at the scene. The police spokesman who explained that no firearms or inmates were taken by the attackers during the assault. The efforts have been intensified to apprehend the fleeing gunmen. Meanwhile, the senator representing Kaduna South, Sunday Marshal Katong, condemned the Zonkwa Divisional Police attack, describing it as senseless and deplorable. In a statement personally signed by him, the senator noted that such a criminal assault on the nation's security agencies is wicked, barbaric and reprehensible, and stands utterly condemned. While expressing deep sorrow over the incident, Senator Katong urged security agencies to deploy every available resource to apprehend the perpetrators and ensure that they are brought to justice without delay. Also, the Lagos State Police Command has recovered 75 mobile gadgets and 5 laptops abandoned by fleeing suspects during a routine patrol conducted by the Rapid Response Squad in Ikeja. The operation, according to the command, was part of ongoing efforts to strengthen security and combat property crimes across the state. In a statement issued on Saturday by the State Police Public Relations Officer, SP Abimbola Adebisi, the recovery followed the interception of 2 suspects who abandoned 2 large Ghana Must Go bags upon sighting police operatives near Allen Roundabout, Ikeja. Speaking on the recovery, the commander of the Rapid Response Squad, CSP Shola Jejeloye, said preliminary investigation indicates that the items were stolen property hurriedly abandoned by the suspects. The State Commissioner of Police, CP Moshood Jimo, commended the RRS operatives for their vigilance and professionalism, reaffirming the command's commitment to intelligence-led policing and proactive crime prevention. The Adamawa State Agency for the Control of AIDS has reported 8,850 new HIV infections across the state between 2022 and 2025, signaling a concerning rise in transmission rates despite available prevention tools. The disclosure was made in Yola by Abdullahi Adamu, the agency's Director of Research, Monitoring and Evaluation, during a media interactive session on the state HIV and AIDS response. Mr. Adamu said the engagement aimed to strengthen collaboration with the media to boost public awareness and encourage behavioral change in HIV prevention. Expressing concern over the trend, Adamu said the figures highlight the need for a review of current strategies and a more aggressive campaign on preventive measures. He stressed that people living with HIV who adhere to treatment cannot transmit the virus and can lead healthy, productive lives. According to him, more than 40,000 people living with HIV are currently receiving treatment in Adamawa State, with about 93% of them achieving viral suppression. However, the agency recorded 400 HIV-related deaths in 2024. And lastly, the management of Ebonyi State University has expelled 3 students allegedly found in possession of firearms during the institution's recently concluded Student Union government election. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Michael Awoke, made the announcement over the weekend during the inauguration of the newly elected SUG executives at the university's main campus in Abakaliki. In September, Ebonyi State Public Police Command arrested 3 suspects in connection with an attempt to disrupt the announcement of results during the university's SUG election. The suspect allegedly fired gunshots to disperse the crowd, but one student was unfortunately hit. Awoke, who described the incident as unacceptable and criminal, said the decision was taken to send a strong message that violence, cultism and intimidation would no longer be tolerated within the institution. The Vice-Chancellor reaffirmed his administration's zero tolerance for cultism, examination malpractice and all forms of violence, stressing that IPSU must remain a place of learning, discipline and peace. All right, beautiful people, that was the news hour on TV Sapiencia. On behalf of the editorial and technical crew, my name is Somto Okafor. Good afternoon once again, and thank you for choosing TV Sapiencia. Have a wonderful Sunday.